Hey, what's up everybody? In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make Kanye West style beats, where some sample song from the 60s, 70s, or 80s, chopped up into little bits and pieces and rearranged into something that's completely new, completely fresh, doesn't sound at all like what you started with, and then you could put a drum track behind it, subwoofer, bass, whatever else instruments you want. Plus, you're going to be able to pitch it up so it sounds a little higher in pitch. That's a common style nowadays. And also you're going to have independent control over the pitch and the tempo, so you could still change the tempo later on, change the pitch later on. It's completely non-destructive in that fashion. So this is definitely the proper way to do it. It's way better than slicing it to MIDI and putting it on a drum rack. That's not the right way. You might be able to get by with that, but then you're not going to be able to change the pitch or the tempo later. Plus, it's probably actually harder to chop it up like that. You still have to actually warp the audio before you could chop it like that. So at the point where you're already warping it, you might as well do it this way because it retains the warping, and that's something that's really important. So I'm going to show you how to do this using Ableton Live. And well, before we get started, I'm going to show you a little demo of this track that I put together. And it's not a finished track or anything, it's just got a little drum loop going behind it. And some subwoofer bass that kicks in, but it's just like to give you an idea of what you could do with this technique of taking little chops out of the sample and rearranging it. So I'm gonna show, after I show you this little demo, then I'm gonna show you how to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so that's about the gist of it till it hits the hook. Anyway, the first step to doing this obviously is having a song that you want to sample. So you could take your song out of your browser and drop it right in. Now, you're going to be doing some of this work in the session view, which is this view which has all your clips in there, and you're going to be doing some of it in the arrangement view. I like to use the arrangement view as kind of a clipboard to take my little my little snippets out of, and I'll show you why, because it has this grid here that makes it real easy to copy your little chunks. So first, take your song, drop it in. Don't be biting, don't be using the same shit as me. I'm already helping you fucks enough, so at least respect that. Anyway, so you could drop it right on here, and then when you double click on it, it's going to pop up in the clip view. And see, the program Ableton already tried to warp it. Warping is like where it stretches it out. It like tells it where the tempo is. Like all these little yellow things that are pinned down. Make this a little bit bigger. Is where it actually pins it down. So like if I move this one, see it's still pinned at those other areas. I move that one, it's still pinned. But basically a lot of the time it's just gonna be bullshit. Like especially with this jazz drums, it has a brush, a jazz soft brush, so it just fucks it up. So I'm gonna want to delete all these. You could just select it all, hit delete. It doesn't delete the audio, just deletes the warp markers. So the first step here is finding where the downbeat is. So downbeat is right here. And see, it already gives you hints at what you could turn into a warp marker. These are pseudo warp markers when they're gray. If you double click, it turns into a warp marker, and that actually pins it down. So once you find the downbeat, which is right here, you can right click on it, hit set 111 here. That puts a downbeat there. here's that one. So see, that's 1, that's major, the star major 2, this is star major 3. So now I would turn on the metronome and that part should be in beat, but the rest of it's not. See, so we need to go through the whole fucking thing and do this. 2, 2, 3, 1. Put that on the 5. 2, 3, 4, 1. Put that on the 7. Put that on the 9.
We all came out of Montreal on the lake.
Put that on the 11. So now when I go back to start, turn on the metronome again, it'll all be gravy. And just, I could even fuck with the tempo now. And I could also fuck with the pitch. And I just pitched up 2 steps with that transpose button. That's what made it sound good for me. Okay, so now let's just pretend we did the whole song like that. So, you know, you could take bits and pieces from wherever you want. Now, if you want to take little chunks out, you set the grid to whatever you want the chunks at. Like, this is just at a quarter, so that's 1 beat is each one of these chunks. So, say I want this one. Now, I'm gonna select it, then press Control and click and drag. And you can let go of the control button, but don't let go of the mouse click yet, because this is gonna allow me to drop it somewhere. But I don't want to drop it on the arrangement view at all. I want to drop it back into the clip view. Okay, so I dropped it on that track I was working with on the clip view. But unfortunately, when I do that, see, it has the whole long clip here still warped, but it just sets the stop and the start markers. But I want that to loop, so I could play it back a little easier. So to get it to loop there, you gotta select that part, you know, just look at the start and stop markers, and then once you have it selected, do Control L, and it sets the loop markers there. So now when I play it, and then I could go back, press tab, switch back, but it's just gonna be playing that clip still. You have to press the back to arrangement button to get it onto back to what's written to play in the arrangement view. So say I want these 2 beats now, same thing. Control, click, drag, hold down the mouse button still, press tab. Now you can drop it back in here, but then you're gonna have to set the loop markers again. Control L once you have it highlighted. Now, once it's like that, see, these are just random clips I chose. I have some good clips in this one. Hold on. Mute this track. And this one. These are actually the clips that I made the song out of. So I only had, I don't know, I had quite a few in there. I didn't even use them all. And I had to set the loop markers on all of them. But see, the thing that makes it easy is once you have your clips that are laid out into this view. Like, I'll grab another one. Say I grab this, control click, drop it there. Still have to set the fucking hate setting the loop markers, but it's not that hard. Just control L. Once you have them all like that, you're gonna want to key map them so you can play it back from your computer keyboard. And to do that, you just press the key thing. Make sure you have this the keyboard to MIDI thing turned off. It has to be deactivated, or else it's gonna fuck up your MIDI mappings, because it's gonna end up using most of them up. So press the key and then click on the clip you want. I'm gonna delete these ones first. Now click the one you want. I can map that to O, this one P, this one that. So now when I press those buttons, it's actually gonna play like that. So I have it like that on these ones too. Ooh, no, I want this one. The only thing is you gotta make sure you set your quantize here. I have it set at 1 beat. You might want it at an 8th or a 16th beat or whatever, but that you don't want it at a bar, or else you're gonna be able to choose a new clip every 4 beats. That's not what you want, probably. So that's how I went through and actually got ideas of what I'm gonna do. And then when you want to start making this song, you might want to like drag this clip over so you have some space to work with, you know, because you still probably want it there. And then you could just take your clips, say you find out a certain order that you want to play. I switched in between these two so I could select both of them. Then control, or you could do that on the Mac too with that little option button or whatever. Click, drag, don't let go of it yet. Now you can drop it into this view on whatever track you want, on whatever beat you want. Alright, let's move it. Oops. But you gotta press back to the arrangement view, or else it's gonna be playing the clips. You can take another one, drop it, and put it on there. So that's how you go through and start like finalizing your ideas. And you could even take the whole thing, press Control D, duplicate the whole thing, put in little bits of space, make some of them repeat, you know, go through it like that. And you could even take it and just take some of the clips and transpose them. Like, actually it sounds like that whole thing's not even transposed. So say I want to transpose all of them, just select them all, then hit transpose. So there you go. And after you do that, you just gotta go through, you know, put some drums accompanying it, put, you know, program a bass line, whatnot. So I'm gonna be showing how to do the bass line and all that too, in a tutorial coming up. So stay tuned for the tutorial on how to do the bass lines and all that.